All right, so right now we're gonna play a little bit with our brush control. So we are going to be using the India ink. We have a couple of different brushes just for different thickness. You can kind of see, ooh, fingers fly. But we are going to be playing around with these brushes. So what we're gonna start with is thick to thin. So you can just grab some of the India ink, and what we're gonna do is press down very hard, and then whew, slowly lift our brush. So it's going to be thicker and then thinner. And we are going to do this at least a couple of times till we have practiced it and it looks nice. So thicker to thinner. I'm going to add one more at the top. All right. And you can see the difference in those um, lines. So goes from thicker to thinner. We're going to do at least 5 for each. Next one we're going to do is going to be our thin to thick. So we're going to start thin and then put more and more and more and more and more pressure. So we're going to play with that. So keep it super light and then put more and more and more. Kind of fun. So we're going to start light again. More, 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 more. Super thick. We're going to do it another 3 times. 1. And then, and it goes super thick. So just play around with those. Have at least 5 of each. I'm playing around with different values. You can just keep it as consistent as you want it to be. Next thing we're gonna do is a consistent line. So we're gonna try to keep a consistent pressure throughout our lines. So it's very hard to do curved lines with consistent pressure, but just play around with it and see how it turns out. But try to do both. Try to have some straight lines, consistent pressure, consistent thickness, and then try to have some curved lines. Ooh, that did not work as well. You can always go back and fill it in a little bit more. So we have that one. Different lines going up and down. So we can just play around a little bit more with this one. So I'm going up and then I'm pressing more, then I'm going down and then I'm going up again, keeping it lighter, and then pushing down and then play with it a little bit more. Curved lines are fun. So thinner, thicker, just play with it. All right. Next one is a little bit harder. So we're going to start with our India ink. So we are going to be pushing down and then lifting up. And it doesn't work well with this brush, but you kind of get that leaf effect. So it goes thinner and then thicker and then thinner again. Let's see if my bigger brush does it a little bit better, but I don't think so. Huh? You can kind of see it thinner, thicker, thinner, and we can make leaves with that, with this stroke. So you can kind of see it in most of them. Woo! So think about if you're doing flowers, you can do the leaves of flowers, the petals, just play with it. I want to see many of these. Fill that whole box in. Or the petal. Okay, so what we're going to do after we fill this whole box in, oh, that was a good one, is we are going to um, move on to the next square. So broken stippling stroke. Light repeated taps of the brush. We're going to wet our brush a little bit. It's very dry now. And it's just little stippling, little lines, little dots. And the thing with the brush is that we might not want to go over certain lines right away because our color, our value, our thing, our India ink is gonna bleed into each other and it's then gonna create blobs. So if our brush is very, very wet, it might, as you can see, bleed into something else and create a little bit of a blob. So play around with this technique, experiment, try to create maybe even a blob to see how that turns out. And then we're going to play around with texture, play around with different things that we might want to play around with. So just try some things out. Experiment. You can do whatever you want with these area, but I want to see you play around and try a couple of different things. Play around with different values, play around. Ooh, I put my sweater in it. Play around with different techniques. Ooh. And experiment. So like try hatching, cross hatching, Think about textures. Think about what you're going to be able to create with your little brush. Play with it and have fun. Alright, what are we going to do here? All right, so just have fun.